muted on there so that we can keep the audio as clear as possible. And I will share this audio, the video recording out to everyone by the end of the weekend. So if anyone missed this call, they will get the same thing that everyone is getting on the call. With that, give me just 1 second here and we will get going. There we go. Does everyone got my opening screen there? Not okay. Thank you, Terry. You're the one that I can see, Terry Weldon. I appreciate the thumbs up there. I do have closed captioning turned on at the bottom. So if anyone is hard of hearing, or if I speak where it is hard for you to understand, please feel free to use the closed captioning at the bottom. Again, good evening, everybody. My name is Eric Strimple, and I am part of Multiple District 17 in Kansas, and I am your guys' area GAT leader for Area 1J. If you are new or unfamiliar about GAT and the organization of GAT, Area 1J consists of the states of Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas. Tonight, helping me behind the scenes is my husband, Lion Eric Tweedy. You will find him in the chat pane. If you need anything during this presentation, any assistance, please private message him directly and he will try to help you. And then he's also going to be watching the chat pane for questions as well when we get to that point. On tonight's agenda, I have multiple things that I want to visit with you guys about. Some of them I'm going to move a little quicker on than others because I want to respect everyone's time tonight. I'll begin with a look at the area's current status with membership. Then I want to mention what and who we are. What is GAT and why are all of us here tonight? We will then do a quick overview of GMA. You'll learn a lot about GMA throughout the whole year, but my hope is the current district governors learned a lot about GMA during their training last year, and they can assist their districts through the GMA process. We will then try to get some GMA updates from any current district governors that are on the call and where they are in the process. Towards the end, we'll have a short Q&A and then some next steps to make sure that all districts are working on things that need to be worked on. So where is the area now? I pulled these numbers over the weekend, so they are off just a little bit, but as of the 25th of September, Area 1J was sitting at a negative 103 in net membership. While that number does seem large, I do want to commend all of you on the call tonight because I am starting to see a shift this month in the numbers, and we are starting to see membership growth and decreasing the amount of membership that we are losing. So thank you for your hard work that you're doing in your districts. As you can see, we did start the year with 20,563 in our 4 states, and we are currently at 20,460. I want to start with, why are we Lions? You know, when we're out and about in our communities, we often get asked why we became Lions. Why did you all become a Lion? I can tell you why I became a Lion. In 2017, I was approached and asked to join the local Eudora Lions Club here in Kansas. I was a municipal government employee, which is what I still do now. And I had been trying to find a community service organization to give back to the community because I was already semi doing that with my work, working with the community on a daily basis. When I did some research about Lions Clubs, I realized that the vision statement matched what I wanted to do in my local community. The vision of Lions Clubs International is to be the global leader in humanitarian and community service. So I joined the club and have enjoyed every step of the way since. Some of you may not have realized that this last year, our mission statement took on some changes. And our new mission statement is to empower Lions clubs, volunteers, and partners to improve health and well-being, strengthen communities, and support those in need through humanitarian service and grants that impact lives globally and encourage peace and international understanding. Now, if you're like me, that's a mouthful. But there is a reason that our mission statement is now so long. The mission was changed to add Lions Clubs International Foundation to it with the change that took place this last year, where LCI brought in, and we are now known as Lions International. And under Lions International, we have Lions Clubs International, which are the clubs that we have always known, and Lions Clubs International Foundation. So because of that change, they kind of merged LCIF and LCI's mission statements into one larger mission statement. So what is and who is GAT? Well, I can tell you this, it's everyone that's on this call. GAT helps districts achieve their goals by creating a unified approach to all key areas of Lions. GAT networks of leaders supports districts in inspiring action at the club level, which will help reignite the passion for service in our Lions and Leos. GAT includes positions in clubs, districts, multiple districts, area, and constitutional levels as well. We are all here tonight because we are all part of GAT. So just really know when we talk GAT, people sometimes think, oh, well, I don't have a GAT title. Every single Lion in every club and in every district has a responsibility to help the goals of GAT, either at the club level, the district level, multi-district level, area level, or constitutional area level. So it takes all of us to make it a success. So some roles of GAT. As your area leader, my role is to provide all of you with resources to achieve the goals of your area, collect and share compelling success stories that empower leaders to act, develop area strategies, and provide ongoing motivation and training to support districts in achieving their goals in relation to membership retention and growth, service project implementation, and leadership training opportunities. You may notice that a lot of those goals that I just mentioned are exactly what all of you district governors had to input in your goals for your Lion year. The GAT multiple district chairperson is the council chair. They provide the multiple district and single district coordinators with the resources to achieve the goals of their area. They collect and share compelling success stories, and they also empower the leaders in their states. They also do the development of strategies and help in all those areas that I just mentioned under my description. The best way to look at your council chair is they're the coach for your state. They are there to make sure that we get the goals that we want to achieve through the Lion year. At the district level, it's the district governor that serves as the district chairperson of the Global Action Team. The district governor ensures that the district's GST, GMT, GET, and GLT coordinators are collaborating and implementing plans to develop skilled leaders, strengthening membership, and expand the district's humanitarian service. The district is the driving force, the district governor is the driving force to ensure that the district is strong, stable, and focused. The district governor's action defines the pathway to success for your district and its clubs. Now, in the list of those acronyms that I just said, you may have noticed the GET. GET is a new position this year. It's a position that does not necessarily have to be filled, but it is there to use if you so choose. GET stands for Global Extension Team. If you're wanting to fill this position in your district or your multiple district, the GET needs to be someone that is passionate about finding new cities, new places for clubs, fostering and helping to nurture those clubs and make them a successful club. So most districts use their GMT for this, but just know that there is an extension that you can use and break it off of the GMT to focus solely on club growth in your district. Something important to remember though, if we want our teams to work and we want our teams to collaborate and implement those plans, I do need all of the district governors to make sure that you constantly share your goals. One of our issues is we create the goals and then we put them in a drawer somewhere and we kind of forget about them for the rest of the year. They need to be at the forefront of your conversations throughout the year, at your cabinet meetings, at your club visits, even just one-on-one with a fellow Lion. Because as long as everyone knows what your goals are, they can help you achieve them. And finally, probably the most important person of all of GAT is the local club president. The club president serves as the club chairperson of the Global Action Team and ensures that the club's GLT, GMT, and GST chairpersons are collaborating and implementing plans to develop skilled leaders and strengthen membership in the local club. And with the help of the club president, it will bring Melvin Jones's dream to life that every need can be met by a Lion or Leo somewhere. I'm going to pause just a moment. Lion Eric, if you'll watch for any hands or if there's anything in chat. Are there any questions before I move on from the roles?
Everybody is muted, so if you have a question, please unmute.
What were the 4 states again? I missed one of them.
Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Not hearing any others, there will be some Q&A at the end, so if something else comes up, that is totally fine, but we will move forward. So as an area GAT leader, or as a leader anywhere within Lions, one of the biggest questions that we get is, what is GMA? Well, GMA is not a position. It's not a person. GMA is not even a book. GMA is a process. The process to design to support districts worldwide against the global membership decline. Some of you may remember back in October 2018, LCI Board of Directors authorized the start of what was known at that time as NAMI, the NAMI pilot program, to address the struggling membership growth in North America. Over the next couple years, they ran pilot districts. They took it down to the pilot zone that I was actually honored to be one of the pilot zones to work through the process. And then starting this year, they have taken the GMA process and they have pushed it out worldwide to all districts around the world. So the global membership approach, or GMA, as we all know it, has 3 simple steps to it. To rejuvenate our districts with the new clubs, revitalize clubs with new members, and remotivate our existing members with new fellowship and exciting services. Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, so in my opinion though, number 3, the remotivating of members with fellowship and exciting service ideas should actually be the first step. because we need to make sure that our current members are motivated in service. Then they can focus on the other two areas, rejuvenating the district and revitalizing the clubs. If we don't make sure that our current members are satisfied in the clubs, we may see some of that negativity carried over, and we may lose those new members that join. The global membership approach combines a strategic process and a set of available resources that is broke down into 4 steps. Build a team. Now, if I have any of my first 5 district governors on the call tonight, this is for you. Please make sure that you start looking at your team for next year for your GMA process now. Do not wait until June of next year to build it. This next statement may come across a little harsh, but it's imperative to the positive growth in Lions. When you're looking to build your team for next year, if there's a person that's currently in a district position in the cabinet that's not fulfilling their job duties to the fullest of their capabilities, please do not bring them back into your cabinet next year or onto your team. Find them a position so that they can still be a valued member of your district, but don't bring them back into a leadership role, because we need you all to have a team that will support you through your Lion year. The second step is build a vision. This is where everyone gets a chance to do a SWOT analysis. If you're not familiar with SWOT, that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, you'll do the SWOT analysis at the district level to help build the goals. When you do the SWOT analysis, though, I challenge you, don't just use your district cabinet members to do the SWOT analysis. Send out an invitation to Lions all over your district or your multiple district if you're doing this process at the state level, and ask them to join. Because when we actually get Lions from leadership all the way down to that newest Lion that joined within the last year at the table to talk about what is going on, what they see as a strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat in the district, we're going to get the best results and the best action plan possible. Having that diversity on the SWAT team will be paramount to making the best year possible. So don't be afraid to ask people. In fact, I challenge you to do it. The third step is to build a plan. You will create an action plan based off of that SWOT analysis to achieve the goals that are set forth. And finally, we have build success. You will execute the plan and in engagement across the district, track your results, and make corrections throughout the year. One thing that I like to remind people about the GMA process is it's not set in stone. This plan is a living and breathing plan. Allow it to change as needed and pivot your teams where it is necessary. So just real quick to rehash there, we do have 4 areas of GMA. We have the rejuvenation of new clubs. We have the revitalization of clubs with new members. And we have the remotivation, of members with new fellowship and exciting services. That fourth one, though, leadership support, that's where the GMA champion comes in, and your leaders that are over those other 3 areas. Make sure that they're working to grow your future leaders and make sure that the leaders that are serving now are getting the resources needed to achieve what is needed. At this time, I'm going to quit sharing my screen for just a little bit, and we are going to open it up, and I'm just going to kind of do a quick rundown. If I have the district governor on, I would like you to unmute for just a moment. Give us just a quick update of where you are in the GMA process, whether you're doing it or not, and how it's going for you, and then we'll move on to the next one. We're going to start with Arkansas, and I'm just going to call names because I unfortunately am not sure if they're on. I'll wait 10 seconds, and if they haven't unmuted, we'll move on and they can speak up after the next person if they are actually on. First one I have is Travis Burton.
I don't think he's on.
Okay.
No.
How about John Snodgrass?
I
I haven't
don't see
seen him
him.
Okay. Dean Rollins?
That's me.
Yep. Go right ahead, Dean.
Well, my main focus has been on getting my convention together and over with. But we have done training. We have talked about the goals, membership drives from clubs, and each club is developing their goals at this time. And I'm hoping that we can talk about that in my convention next week.
Okay. Yeah, with the convention next week, I totally understand. That is good that you're working through parts of the process, it sounds
Yes.
like. May not
Yes.
just be step by step in order, but you are working through some of those. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the update, Dean. And Bill.
Yes. Well, I also working on our district convention coming up in November the 12th. I've got a little time on that, but yes, we're successful in getting all of our zone chairs trained in the district. We had a multiple district training on officers, and I've asked for information. We had a good participation, more so than we've had in the past. So that's been real successful. And then we've also encouraging club officers to log on to LCI and get the training that's available online for their officers. On membership development, working on a couple of projects that establishing a campus club and also a branch club. So far, those haven't happened, but I'm persistent, so we'll do that. As far as membership growth, I'm excited. Did have goals of a total of 40 increase in membership for the district for the year. And as of today, I personally have inducted 11 new members
Awesome.
into clubs around the state. So that's exciting, and hoping that will continue. LCI has sent me the new glossy membership applications, and I'm distributing those when I make my visits.
And looks like Dean, you raised your hand. Do you
I did.
have us? Yes. Go ahead.
I just want to kind of piggyback off of what Bill has said, and my past district governor is to the right there, Jeff Davis. We just got a report from a club, a zone chair visit from a club that's in trouble. And because we're able to get that information from that zone chair, we're going to meet, and I was hoping I'd get together this week with a few of our team and talk about a strategic way to try and help with that problem. We've got 2 clubs that we're visiting at the time that we're getting ready to visit to help with membership. That one in Northwest Arkansas, and then, well, there's 2 of them in Northwest Arkansas, right, Jeff? Yeah, yeah.
We saw the head shake. Yes.
Yeah. So that was it. That's all I wanted to add. And I'm really interested in trying to make membership help these 2 clubs in general, because they are the ones that have been called our attention. We need to do something. So,
well, I'm glad to hear that your zone chair is doing what they are the eyes and ears of the district. So I'm glad to hear that zone chair. So commend them for me, if you would, please.
will do.
Thank you. We're going to go to Iowa.
I would like to,
Oh, yes, go ahead.
wait, can I speak for District Governor Snodgrass?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The immediate past district governor in 7-0 is, and the past council chair have both been through guiding line training, and they're working with clubs through the district and revitalizing at least 2 clubs that I know of. And the immediate past district governor, Roy, has done a great job going to a club there in Searcy and building them back up. So they are taking steps to retain members and to build up new members.
I appreciate that update there. Thank you very much. James Gill. Is James on? How about Dale Schrad? Michael Rinkin, I saw you come on.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been at the club visits I've been doing, I've been trying to ask the clubs to do things a little different than what they've done before in how they approach their service and how they ask their members to, or potential members to come in. Ask them to take and do service projects first and
Yes.
and be a part of their service projects and see if they like it first, instead of just going out and direct asking.
Absolutely.
And some of the clubs that I've been to, I've had several, maybe 6, 8 new inductions myself this year. The one club, I had 3 of them. It was ironic. The one club was inducted a new member, and that new member brought in a second and third new member. You know, it was just like, it was fantastic. And also at those clubs, we've also been honoring with Melvin Jones and Warren Coleman. That's the best way to show what Lions is about and how to keep that enthusiasm going is keeping those people honored for the service that they're doing.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you get a new member, like you mentioned, it's just kind of a snowball effect. So
Yes.
that's great to hear that it's working, and hopefully we'll see more of that throughout the area this year.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
Nadine.
Yes, the club visits I have made, I am introducing the concept and explaining what it is. We recently had a club in our district that dropped 10 members, and we're not really sure why. We think it's because they were non-dues paying, or they had paid dues and just didn't show up to meetings. Anyway, Stan and I will be visiting them next Friday or Thursday noon to sit down with them and discuss the whole situation and tell them about GMA and how it will help them retain the members and perhaps get some of the ones who dropped back. We in our district is going to have our own GMA meeting tonight, but we were preempted. That's okay. We're going to get together at our fall rally. Our fall rally is October 15th, and we will have Stan, since he is the head for our district, speak to the people there about GMA and how it's going to help. We've also in Des Moines divided up the clubs amongst ourselves that were 13 or below in membership, and we have had positive response from some of them. That the ones that have responded, has been very positive. So we're going to be concentrating on those folks.
Good. I was that when I was up there helping when we went through
Yes,
those?
yes,
Okay,
that's
okay.
in Des Moines,
Yes,
yes.
yes, there was a lot of discussion about that. So I'm glad to hear that actions are being taken from the discussions we had that day. Thank you very much, Nadine. Michael Rivera.
Good evening,
excuse me.
Eric.
Hello.
Hello. I'd like to, I guess, ditto for what Mike Rankin has said. Going to clubs, what I've been talking to him about is, and I agree with what you said, that those 3 levels, it's the revitalizing the clubs with good service. And that's what I've been talking about. What can people do? Think outside the box, using Brian Sheehan's message for getting some exciting service projects. And when you invite people to visit the club, use a service event and invite them to that. Let them know how fun things are, so that they get an idea of what the heck we do versus coming to a meeting and sitting in a meeting. I don't want to do that. I've also talked to clubs about what we have done in my home club with success in doing a membership drive. Right now, I've not concentrated on rolling out, going to clubs and talking about the GMA, because I'm going to get a bunch of blank stares and they're going to say, what the heck are you talking about? What's this, this thing?
Yes.
What we need to do is work at the district level and see. I think talking about what you said earlier about the SWAT and maybe doing that at the district level and throwing that out to all the clubs and see if we can't get some traction on that to figure out, from a district standpoint, how people feel about things. Maybe start with that and then roll from there. It's been a little bit of frustrating process for me, just trying to learn and figure out what the heck we should be doing with GMA, because it's like this big, huge, overarching rigmarole. And it's like, okay, how are we gonna make it work? And trying to break it down to some little pieces. And I think just tonight's helpful, just talking about the SWAT, and I think that'll be our start.
Yeah. So and there are others on the call that are probably feel the same way as you do on GMA. I'll just add to that statement and just say, GMA, while it's large, it can be done in steps. And I think when you're visiting with clubs, sometimes it's almost better not to mention GMA at first and just kind of mention the aspects of what GMA is. And then when they do it, you can go, hey, you've already done one step of the GMA process, then start kind of saying, look, we're working on this bigger picture, but you're already doing it, because it can be daunting. So maybe try to take that approach and see if that helps.
Well, that goes back to when you go to your club visits, learning how to read the room. I think, when you go to do your big presentation. I went to a club last night, and I'm going through my thing and I'm looking at the folks that I'm talking with, and maybe it's because I'm super boring. I don't know, but man, there was a bunch of blank stares and people just kind of staring at their plates, So I'm like, all right, better just kind of cut this short, and then try to roll out GMA with that group would have been, they'd have been sleeping in their soup for sure.
Yes. Thank you for the update, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Don Goodsell, excuse me. David Coates, I see you down in the corner there, David.
Yeah. In my district, we've been doing a lot of different things. We got together, we've talked about visiting clubs that were also down in members, or down in numbers, trying to rebuild them. I've been visiting clubs, talking about goals and projects, especially setting up the district project, trying to get our tree plan going throughout the district and having clubs work together, inviting new people, inviting new groups, even setting up team efforts with other groups like the Kiwanis or something like that, where you can work together. They get to know us and we get to know them. We've had zone chair training. We've also had our GAT team summit, which was awesome. And coming up here very soon, we also have a leadership training, which is coming up. So we've got a lot of things heading in the right direction. We've got a couple of new areas or possible new clubs, and maybe I think on this call we have Judy Stone could talk about some of the clubs that we may be starting in different areas, and she's working on that very hard. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Judy, I see you unmuted. Go right ahead.
Yeah, we've sat down as a group with Dave and our first vice district governors, and we targeted a couple of areas that we'd like to go into and start new clubs. And I've already met with a couple of the other service clubs that are in those areas, and they're really excited about working with us. I have set up an appointment with the first one that we worked on to meet with the city council and let them know what we're about and coming into their community. And the second one that we're working on, we're just starting to start canvassing what our options are in the business district area. But it's going very positive so far.
Good, good. A lot of forward momentum in Iowa. That's great to hear. Thank you all. Kansas, Lori, you are on if you're at a place where you can speak for just a moment.
I am. Thank you.
Yes.
17 in here from Kansas. I would like to say so far that we have also taken advantage of the overall planning. I think in our DGE training, it was really well handled, well explained, and we were given a lot of the tools to get this process started very early. So in my district, we have held zone chair training, which I'm very lucky. We've got a great group. I think what was stressed was the consistency of message in those zone chairs, so that as they're going out to the clubs, everything is really coming from a centralized point, and also the importance of that link. And I have also thankfully had some zone chairs come to me to report minor issues while they're minor before they become huge issues or clubs that just immediately disappear with no warning. So we have had some other officer training, and we've got some check-in meetings planned over the next few weeks. As one of my leaders alluded to at the beginning, we've done a membership growth challenge that's a monthly challenge, which seems to be going very well. I can't take 100% of credit for any of this, but I am really happy to report that in our district, we are net positive 16 as of today. So I'm super excited about that. We, of course, have our goal of some new club formation, whether that is charter clubs or branch clubs, and Terry Weldon as well is really on top of that for me and has some great feelers out there in some potential spots. So I'm excited that we may actually see that happen, because that's something in our district that we haven't been able to quite overcome that hurdle over the last several years. So that's a good one. The biggest hang up for us is probably still service reporting, but that is growing every year, it seems. And I've got a great GST that has created a very simplified PowerPoint that is available to those club officers. And I would definitely encourage anybody to kind of jump on that, because it's something that takes that in a visual page by page, showing them exactly what they're looking at. And that's very, I think, very, very helpful. So overall, I think it's a great program. It's very well thought out. And as far as from my perspective, it's been very well explained on how to implement it. And it's just a matter of finding the right people on that team. And I'm very blessed in my district that I think we have found those people, and they're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you for the update, Lori.
Mhm.
I was looking, I don't see Tom Bauman on from K or Richard Webster on from A. If they're on, they can speak up momentarily. We'll go to Missouri here. Bill, is Bill on? Bill Fuslag. Is Leon on? Virginia?
I'm here. I had to unmute. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm from 26M1 and since returning from Montreal, I've been working with my GMT on developing 2 new clubs in areas that had clubs there about 10 years ago and closed. Now it appears that the climate in those 2 areas are more open to bringing back the Lions clubs. And additionally, there's with my own club, we have a group of students and locals who play disc golf to make a specialty club. And the members of that organization are very excited about becoming a branch club. And I've done some club visits, and one of the take-home messages I got from the convention in Montreal was the future of our clubs is coming from younger people. Being an older person myself, and many of our members in our district are older, I've kind of tried to bridge a gap between the generation Alpha and Generation Z. When I talk with members of clubs, I know one thing I hate is I seem like I'm tethered to my phone now, but I understand my younger counterparts, they live on their phone. And I think if we can understand what's important to each other, we can form better clubs. And that's kind of been my message as I go visit. And it's been pretty well received that we have a cabinet meeting coming up November 5th. We are going to do that by Zoom. We're going to provide the link to all the clubs in our district because we're in an area that's huge and not everybody can attend, but we need more people involved at the district level. So this is a first, and the people I've talked to, even though they're older, they're excited about it. So I think that we are starting to adapt to the new technology and the fact that we need to use it. So
That is good. That's great to hear. I'm going to piggyback off of that, and I'm going to throw one little idea out there for you. Don't do it right away because you're starting with your first Zoom cabinet meeting, and that's great to hear. One thing that we have started doing here in Kansas, we started it last year and have had a couple. Think about talking with your zones and your regions about hosting watch parties. If you can get a zone chair or a region chair or, a couple clubs in the area to get together, if someone has the capability of, putting their laptop on their computer, on their TV so that everyone can watch it on TV and turn it into a little social gathering and have a watch party for a district cabinet meeting. We're actually planning one here for our next cabinet meeting the first weekend of November as well. So that's just a little idea to throw out there for people that are doing Zoom or hybrid. Challenge your zones and regions to try to do some watch parties because you can get 10 or 15 people in a living room, depending on the place, and you only have one connection, and they can all sit there and watch the cabinet meeting and visit and ask questions while the meeting's going on and learn together.
sounds good. It's kind of like what we used to do many years ago when regions and zones got together and it was in person, but the distance now is so wide, it's really hard to do that.
Yes.
So,
Hey, is Pat on? Pat Scott. Bart, I don't believe Bart's on. I got a message back that he was out of town. Sandy? And Harold. Okay, well, thank you, everyone there. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. I got just a couple more slides and we'll wrap up for the night. So
When you are ready, we do have one comment from the question pane.
Go ahead while I get this loaded.
This is from Debbie Dottie. Before we get off the call, I'd like to add that in Iowa, we are having our Fall Learning Conference, October 22nd, and we'll be having speakers talking about planning service for millennials, SWOT analysis, and addressing the GMA process with Charlie Short, encouraging us that 21st Century Lions are worth fighting for. Debbie, that is the MD, GLT, and the State Convention Planning Chair.
Thank you for that, Debbie. And I hope that goes well next month for you all in Iowa. So just a couple more slides here. So some district updates. Most of these, I hope that you have all taken care of this, but I just wanted to throw these out here in case there's some stragglers, some individual stragglers on your cabinet, etc. Make sure that you have all of your cabinet in the system in MyLCI. And if at all possible, try to make sure that every one of them has an email address and that it's a valid email address. That helps myself, that helps your council chair, all the way up to LCI to make sure that they can contact those individuals. Another position that is voluntary, you don't have to do it, is the district and the multiple district administrator. If your multiple district or district do not utilize this position, I strongly encourage you to think about adding it this next year. The administrator is the right-hand person for your state secretary or your district secretary. They have all the capability of doing everything that the secretary does, so that you can divide and conquer and make sure that stuff gets done in a more efficient manner. And then again, sounds like most of you have got your training going, but if you have not, please start thinking about getting your training opportunities scheduled over the next month or two, so that we can try to get most of the trainings wrapped up by the end of December. So global membership approach next steps. I want to challenge districts and district governors. This isn't just for you, this is for your whole district. Form a strategic committee to work on a 5-year strategic plan for your district if you do not currently have one. Again, just kind of like GMA, make sure you've got people that can give their opinion from all levels, because even though they may not be in a leadership position now, in a few years, they may be a current zone chair that's going to be working on the strategic plan. So just make sure that their voices are being heard. And then make sure that that strategic plan is shared year to year with your second vice and your first vice district governors, so that they can make sure that their plans are in line with what the whole district is wanting to see happen. If you haven't had the opportunity, I ask you to check out the resources available at lionsclubs.org/global. That's the Global Action Team drop spot. There is a wealth of knowledge. There are documents and links and presentations there, so make sure you take the opportunity to look at that. And then also review the materials for each of the GMA processes and steps. Like I said earlier, it may seem like a daunting process, but if you get a good team behind you, it can work, and it will work for you as long as you stay the course. It takes everyone working together, and it takes that forward momentum and that positive attitude that the process is going to work even if there's a setback. Don't let it derail the process. If you have any questions about any of that, feel free to reach out to the GAT area team at LCI. The email is there, or feel free to reach out to me and I can get you in contact with anyone that to get you assistance. So for my first vice district governors, DG elects, Monday, 2 days ago, we had our very first training session. Part of my duties as GAT area leader is making sure that the first vice district governors are trained on the GMA process. So over the course of their DGE year, you will all be going through the process through Zoom meetings. So we had the Build the Team one on Monday, and thank you for everyone that joined on Monday. I will be sending out the recording of Monday's meeting along with the recording of tonight's meeting by the end of the weekend to everyone so that everyone has it. First Vice District Governors, your next meeting with myself and past International Director Jerome Thompson as our guest speaker for Build a Vision is going to be on Monday, November the 7th. And it's going to start at 6:30 Central Standard Time. The times are a little different because 3 area GAT leaders are working together on this so that we're only bothering Jerome 4 times during the year. So we have area GAT leader Winster from the Washington, D.C. area, which is Eastern time zone. And then we have the area GAT leader Richard Stevenson in Arizona, which is Pacific time zone. And then we're in Central time zone. So we have to kind of fluctuate a little bit so we don't go too early for the Pacific or too late for the Eastern people. These dates and times will be in my monthly newsletter that I send out. So if something was to change, I will make sure that I let you know, but just save those dates and put them on your calendar so you can join us. And as a reminder, our monthly meet and greets are going to be on the 4th Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. I will be rescheduling November and December. I just haven't sat down to look at it because they do fall on Thanksgiving and Christmas week. I am not going to ask any of you to join me on Wednesday night before you eat a turkey dinner on Thursday. I mean, I know you would have fun with me on Wednesday night, but you've got better things to do. So just know that I will be rescheduling those, and I'll share that information out as soon as I get those rescheduled. But the rest of them will fall on the 4th Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. And in closing, one thing that you're going to learn about me over this year is I love quotes. So as we close tonight in the presentation, I wanted to leave a quote up here for you. Remember that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. For those of you that do not have my contact information, it is on your screen. My email address is eastrimp81@msn.com, and my cell phone is 785-331-7757. Please do not hesitate to email me or text, call, whatever works for you. I do want to preface, I do work a full-time job Monday through Friday, so I may be a little slow on a reply. No, I will get back to you. I try to do emails back to anyone that reaches out in the evening when I get home. And texts or calls, I will try to do that if I have a little bit of break during the day at work, if time allows. So just know that your issue or visiting with you is important to me, but I do have a full-time job Monday through Friday. So I appreciate your patience as I get back to you when I can.
We do have one question and comments.
We're going to stop sharing and going to open up for some quick final. Looks like we've got 7 minutes because I want to be good on time and be done by 8 o'clock. So what questions do we have, Eric?
We have one from Dean for Lori Horton.
Okay.
Wanting to know about sharing the training video or PowerPoint that she mentioned, taking it to the club district meeting for training.
Yes, I would be happy to forward that to Eric so that he might be able to share that out to the entire group or whatever's necessary.
Yeah, Lori, if you want to send it to me, I will just send it out to my email groups and make sure that everyone gets it.
I would be happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments in the last few minutes?
Nothing in the chat box.
Okay, not seeing any hands raised or any comments. I'm going to give you back 5 minutes of your life I appreciate you taking time out of your nights tonight to spend it with me. I do want to end with one little comment. Just know that our monthly meetings going forward are not going to be this lengthy. I'm not going to have a 20-page PowerPoint presentation every single meeting. Our meet and greets are really going to be talking back and forth, giving you guys a chance to give us updates, ask questions amongst each other, and give feedback to each other so that we can work as a cohesive area together, even though we're in different districts and different states. So with that, again, thank you for taking time tonight. It was nice to see everyone tonight, and watch for an email by Sunday evening with the recording of this meeting to share with anyone that you wish, and one for the one on Monday with past International Director Jerome Thompson.